Hi everyone and welcome to my channel. It's horrible outside, it's wet, it's raining, and across the road from us is a Baptist church, and somebody's getting married today, so they haven't really got the best of weather for it. You can barely see out the windows with the rain, but never mind, they'll just have to have lots of indoor photos. I'm sure they'll be so excited they won't care less about the rain. We're here to do, I was going to say Theme Thursday then. We're here to do PJ Saturday. I need to stop nosing out the window at the rain and concentrate on what I'm actually doing. I thought I'd start with little Grace today for a change. Isn't this blanket adorable? £6 in Asda. It's folded in half. It's massive. It's like a UK single size blanket, you know, like a bedding blanket almost. I'm sure it is. And it's absolutely gorgeous. It's got little bunnies all over it. Little bunnies, little pink ears, little tufts of grass, and then like the background. Oh, I think I found. Oh yeah, a little piece of the plastic. I wondered where it went. Off the tag. And the background. I don't know if you can see. Oh yes, you can. You can see it. See there, like little Bambi dots. That's what attracted me to it in the first place. I saw it on the shelf rolled up, and I saw these little dots and this sort of colour, and I thought it was little deer, like little Bambis, but they're sort of kangaroo-looking rabbits. Can you see how long they are? Either that or it's crossed with a corgi. I don't know, but it's they're cute though, really cute. I like it. So, little Grace is looking gorgeous. She's wearing a little cream hat I got from Baby Prem on eBay. A little knot in the top. I love these. So cute. Just adds a little bit of fun, doesn't it, to the top there. And she's also wearing one of her starter off sets of sleep suits. I'm sure it's an online exclusive. Next time I shop from Asda online, I'm going to get the vests that match it. But you get the 5 baby clothes, like I said before. And I noticed this morning when I was just having a browse, when I was having my coffee, that you can get a set of 6 vests as well. You know, bodysuits as you call them now. My day it was vests, baby clothes and matney coats. That shows my age. Today it's was it all-in-ones, bodysuits, sleep suits, all sorts of things, and they don't have a matney jacket or a matney coat. You very rarely hear of that now. It's all a cardi, little cardi or a knitwear, something like that. It's all getting it's all changing, which is fine. That's how language and everything evolves, isn't it, and develops. But for us oldies, you get, you know, you remember the words you use. I try and stay up to date. Some things I refuse to say because I just don't want to. I won't say diaper. It's a nappy. It always was a nappy, and it always will be a nappy, whether it's paper and plastic or cloth or terry or whatever. It's a nappy. And I won't say pacifier because it's not. It's a dummy. It's just those I can't change. I can get used to sleep suit instead of baby grow. Cover of other things, but I cannot say diaper. And I get really irritated sometimes for some really weird reason. It stands out when somebody who's British and they say diaper and pacifier. Now, don't take it wrong if you do say that word, because I've started saying cookies because the grandchildren say cookies. Whereas until a few years ago, it was a goddamn biscuit. You know, we had a biscuit with our cup of tea and we loved, well, I don't drink tea, it's disgusting, but we had a biscuit with our cup of coffee and we dunked it and we ate it and it was lush. That's a good old Welsh word for you there, lush. And it was absolutely lovely. I was going to say adorable, but how can a biscuit be adorable? But now I'm finding it's creeping in. My grandchildren say cookies. They don't say biscuits. And what else were they saying the other day? They don't call it, you've never heard of fairy cakes for a long time. It's a cupcake or a muffin or something like that. It's not a cake anymore or a fairy cake or, you know, anything like that. The terms that I grew up with and even my children grew up with, because my children go from 27 in November up to 41, as you know. So even the youngest one, it was cupcakes, fairy cakes, biscuits, etc. It's only in the last 10 years that it's all changed. So this generation can it now, my younger grandchildren especially, and mind you, my oldest 2 grandchildren are 21 and 23, Jade's 23 in November. So they're about, they would have been what, sort of, say 11 and 13 for argument's sake, at a quick try and round it up, when all this real stuff started like 10 years ago, to really coming in, where everybody had a phone, everybody had a computer, everybody was on the internet, everybody got Sky, everybody with all of this stuff. And it's like in the UK anyway, for me, you know, everyone's perception of everything is different. But for me, I've noticed it more in the last 10 years, how fast life is changing, how fast the pace is changing, how the attitudes to everything is changing. It's getting more and more, I want it now, I'm not waiting for it, why can't you? I don't care about anybody else. There's a lot of that creeping in. You don't hear people say, oh, sorry, if you bump into each other in the supermarket, you know, this sort of thing anymore, or thank you. Just simple, normal, everyday pleasantries are starting to go out the window now. So I don't say, now what do you say, or anything like that very often, but I do say to them, just say thank you, you know, the grandchildren, that kind of thing, because I don't want them growing up with no manners. I say to my children, you use your manners, and you learn about all these things, and you learn to eat your food properly and sit at the table. When you grow up, you got a choice then, but at least when you go anywhere, you'll know the proper things to do. You know, a handshake, eating with proper knives and forks, sitting properly at the table, using your manners, keeping your foul language under control when you're not in your own private company. You know, all those sort of things. They were always encouraged that, and always do the right thing, and no free lunches. That's what I always told my kids. There's no such thing as a free lunch. Even if you think you got one, you're going to pay for it in the long run, so you might as well do it properly in the first place. And the other thing I always told them was, however bleak it seems, it always gets better. And life just goes up and down. So you just enjoy the highs and you just get through the lows. And the other thing as well, another thing I used to say to him was, my mind is going to go all menopausal now, and it's going to go out the window. Oh, that's what it was. Always do the right thing. Even when nobody else is, always do the right thing, because for some reason, even if it's a bit of a flipping slog through life, I've always found, I don't know why, but even when it seems at its worst and everything seems really like a black hole, if you just carry on doing the right thing, for some reason it comes right in the end. Whereas if you don't, and you skip and you cheat and you lie and you whatever it would be in the circumstances, for some reason it just gets worse. Or it might be better for a while, but it's going to kick you in the bottom afterwards. Karma's going to come along and get you later. So that's how my children were brought up. And they weren't allowed to run around in the house and bounce on the sofas and beds. Like, that is like pet hates. Don't run in the house, out in the garden for playing. And no bouncing on the bed and the sofas. They cost good money and they got to last. So there we go. So there you go. That's little Grace. And she's looking absolutely adorable. And that little sleep suit looks really nice with that blanket, doesn't it? Because I really like the blanket, but I was thinking it might be too much of a busy backdrop with their outfits. But she's looking really sweet in that. I might just quickly, instead of stopping, because I can't pause on this phone, instead of stopping and doing a second video, because Scarlett is literally 4 feet away from me in her crib, I might just quickly just swap them over. So just bear with me a second. I'll swap you over for your sister. Try not to knock the tripod as we go past. There you go. Just put you down there. And pick up you, young lady. There you go. Oh, it doesn't look too bad, does it? There you go. Bless her. Let you see, I love my mummy on the front, just so everybody knows she does. Just sneak back past the tripod. When you're a little bit rotund like me, getting between the gap of the tripod with its handle at the end of the bed, between that and the set of drawers that's behind it, can be a bit of a feat. So there she goes. This is, I don't actually know where I got this hat from. I got a feeling that it's another thing that's left over from my shop, where because I used to sell these and scratch mittens and all sorts of baby things, as well as all my handmade stuff. Oh, someone's knocking. They are having some work done next door. I'll try and carry on for a little while, but otherwise I'll stop and come back. Because I know what will happen. You'll start drilling again in a minute. Saturday, so let's drill. Let's just go and drill and enjoy it. Disturb everyone else's peaceful weekend. Right. So, put me off my track now. Doesn't take much, does it, as you get older? Mind you, it never did. I've always been scatterbrained, forgetful, all the rest of it. I'm absolutely convinced that I'm attention deficit. So there you go. There's Scarlett Olivia, and she's wearing the little hat from Nowhere Land and little white scratch mittens. I'm quite into the scratch mittens at the moment, if you notice. I don't know whether it's because it's winter and they look snug and comfy, but I'm quite enjoying putting them on at the moment. So she's wearing just the cheap ones from Asda. You get 2 pairs for £1, and they're brilliant. Just cotton, just basic, in the blue, white, and pink, and they're really good. I like them. I often pick up just another pair because I tend to lose them in the washing machine, like you lose baby socks and things. And just because yes, I know they're dolls, but and I do wash and iron their clothes, because for one thing, if you got the amount of clothes I got in my wardrobe, you cannot put a dress in there without having to iron it before you use it. It just looked ridiculous, be all creased up and all over the place. And as you handle them and dress them more and more, even though I'd always wash my hands first, I'm not a mucky person, but you know, generally over time, handling and dusting and all the rest of it, things get to look a little bit grubby, and you want to chuck it in the machine. So of course then it's got to be tumble dried and ironed again if you want to use it, haven't it? Or a couple of weekends ago, I got the little one's drawer out for all these sort of size for the girls, which is girls' drawer now. Poor Scarlett's got to share with everybody, because when the girls are sorted out now, there'll be 3 little ones. So she's going to share, because yeah, it's no 4 little ones. So because I've got 3 that I'm doing things with at the moment, though I've done so much reborning lately that I'm quite happy to have a break for a few weeks, because again I get more energized then for my painting. If I'm painting, it just turns into, oh god, I'm painting again, and that doesn't suit my psyche. I don't work like that. I like a certain amount of routine so that life runs reasonably smoothly, but I can't stand the 9 o'clock is breakfast, 12 o'clock is lunch, 5 o'clock is tea, and we'll have a break in between, and today we're doing this and tomorrow we're doing that. You know, that kind of routine. I can't work like that. It would drive me insane. My mum used to come and stay with me, and she's a bit like that. And she'd be like, we'd just be finishing breakfast, and she'd be like, well, what are we having for tea later? And I'd be like, I haven't thought past breakfast yet, Mum. You know, we might decide it's the summer holidays, we'll go out for the day. Or we might decide, oh, we'll go to the chip shop. Or we might decide, oh, I'll tell you what, I really fancy, you know, a nice chop and some mash and some veg and gravy, something like that. Or else we might just have something light or whatever. But she'd want it all planned, so you knew what she was doing. And hubby's a bit like it as well. He likes to know what he's doing. Spontaneity doesn't exist in his dictionary. It's like you suddenly say, oh, how do you fancy going shopping this afternoon, because you've been doing something in the morning, and you suddenly think to yourself, oh, I know, I'll pop out so and so and have a look at paint or fabric or baby clothes, or I need to pick up a present, you know, all the things that us girls do. And of course, now hubby's retired because he's 69 next month, then you know, obviously he's home all day. Yes, they do get under your feet, and you do need an anaesthetic to keep you chilled. So if you're at that stage where you're dreading hubby coming up to retirement, make the most of it now. That's what I would say, because it isn't just me. When I go and have my nails done, Anne-Maria does my nails. Show says there's a lot of retired women where their husbands are retired, and the men drive them nuts, because they're like, oh, I'm going off for my nail appointment. Oh, I'll drive you. And they're like, no, it's okay, I'll go myself, it's fine, because it's your few hours therapy, isn't it? But you know, go and have gossip, several cups of coffee, have your nails done, and just have, you know, peace away from the family and kids, because once your kids grow up, that's another thing. Don't think you're going to be free. because you ain't, because they always need you. And then they have grandchildren and great-grandchildren. And then you've got your daughter asking you for advice about her granddaughter and this sort of thing. And you see them all going through what you went through, what it's like to be a mum and discover teenagers. That's interesting. Another thing was watching, because this is my eldest daughter now, watching her become a nan, which is like, still hasn't sunk in that this child is my great-granddaughter, even though she's 2 in December. And seeing her with her, and it's sort of, even though she calls her nanny and everything, it's seeing her and actually registering that this person is a nanny, and it's my child that's a nanny. That is amazing, really strange. And she sort of follows the line as well. She doesn't look anything like she should to be a grandmother. She looks like she's sort of, still bringing up young kids herself, which she is. She's got a 9-year-old, almost 10-year-old still at home, but that's the youngest one. But it's amazing seeing all these things going on. So she's dealing now with, you see them dealing with kids and stuff. And you want to say to them, do you know what? It doesn't matter how much your kids are driving you nuts and they're 3 and 5 or wherever they are, babies crying through the night. Make the most of it. You deal with a teenager in a strop. You deal with all these, their angst at their first broken heart. They worry about looking for jobs. They worry about this. They worry about that. You got nothing to worry about when they're little, except it's something awful like bullying at school, illnesses, that kind of thing. But generally, everyday things, it don't start until they get older, a lot of stuff. And then they have their children, and then you have to deal with, it's their child. Remember, you can't tell them what to do. And then they become grandparents, and then you see them dealing with the same thing, and they're trying to hold back. Oh my God, it just goes on forever. So, if you've got little children now and you think, yay, 5 years, they're 18, yay, it hasn't started. It's endless. Once a child is born, you've got it forever. Oh, bless. Right, let's get back to Scarlett before we talk away the afternoon, because I'm on, looks like I'm on 17 minutes already. Dear. So I have to quickly go through the other 3 now, because I'm not doing them all today, because the big ones haven't got pyjamas, and none of the big ones have got pyjamas. The toddlers haven't got, none of the toddlers, Abby, Jameson, the one I want to keep calling Ariana, Seren, and Narnia and Madison. And Narnia's in a trying out her Halloween outfit today. I've been changing it around a bit this morning, swapping things around, playing with that. So she's sat in that in all her glory in the living room at the moment, looking like some kind of gothic princess. Back to Scarlett, and then we'll try and get the boys in now, in the next 5 minutes. So it's not too long for you. And she's wearing a little yellow hat from No Man's Land, as I said, and her little scratch mittens, and this adorable sleep suit that I got from Next. This is one of the first things I bought her as well a while back, and it's all white with a side fastening, which I like, as long as there's not too much of a V there, not just because they're cloth bodies. I wouldn't like it for a real baby, or little dribbles and things get under there otherwise, don't they, real babies, because there's nothing absorbent there. And then it's got a giraffe's face on the front, printed face, dots and eyes and things, and then little 3D ears, and a pliqué sort of muzzle part, the nose part there. And underneath it says, it's printed I love my, and then it's embroidered mummy. There you go. And I think on the background there's just like a couple like little clouds, little grey clouds hanging around, it looks like. So that's really lovely. So there you go. There's Scarlett looking adorable in lemon and white, which is gorgeous on babies, isn't it? Absolutely love lemon on babies, and that lemon and white together is really nice. I'm really liking that today. So there you go, there's Scarlett. So let's go and get the boys. There he goes. You look adorable. I didn't put him on straight on the rabbit blanket because he was already wrapped up in this blanket, which is his own special blanket. I do like these. I did look in Asda the other day and they haven't got any more in at the moment. He just looks so nice in all the blue and white. I just want to put the whole display on. Put him out as he was. So he's got his ever trusty little elephant, a little comforter. It's got his name on, Tristan Michael. Michael after my grandson. There. And he's wearing blue scratch mittens, same as before, just pound ones. And then he's wearing a baby blue hat from Next, and a white cotton sleep suit from Next that's got all little stars all over it. It's absolutely adorable. They're just really fine little tiny stars. Let's see if I can, oh yeah, you can see them a bit, can't you? Zoom in a bit. It's really lovely. Look at that. It's gorgeous. It's out of a pack of 3. I think the other 2 were the plain blue one you see him in sometimes with a teddy applique on the front, and then the other one was a white background like this with the same sort of pale colours, and it's got little teddies and balloons all over it. Absolutely adorable. Really lovely. So there he is, looking absolutely gorgeous. Put a little bit of his hair out this morning when I wetted it and give it a wet and a good brush through this morning gently, because when I was looking at him the other day where he's had a hat on and off for a while without me doing it, he got quite matted, so and messy. So he's had all that sorted out this morning, but it's still safely tucked away under his hat, as you do. So there he is, the lovely Tristan. And just go and get Reuben. Reuben? Who's he? Reuben. And there he is, the gorgeous Reuben James. Bless him. I forgot to wet his hair earlier and brush it again, so and he had a little bit of bed head, so I've just brushed it quickly with a toothbrush. So I didn't want to wet it and then film him with wet hair. He might be embarrassed, mightn't he? So Reuben is simple because his hair is so nice. I don't usually put hats on him. And he is wearing a sleep suit that's white, buttons down the middle, well, not buttons, poppers down the middle, and it's white with grey stars all over it, and that's from a pack of 3 from Georgia Asda that are Dumbo themed. The other 2 are one with little Dumbos in grey all over it, and the other one is all white and it's got a little Dumbo on the chest, and then you've got this star one, which is always nice. So he looks adorable, doesn't he? Really sweet. I sort of stuck his arm up in the air now, look. There you go, you can put it back down again. Before I forget, because you know me and my memory, tomorrow is the draw for my 200 subscriber giveaway. So I shall get that done in the daytime as soon as light and whatever's going on allows. But I try not to leave you waiting too long. Obviously, really, a lot of the time doesn't make a lot of difference because, you know, we're all on different time zones anyway. So, but I'll leave that open then for whoever wins, probably till Thursday, Thursday or Friday. Leave it open till then so that you can claim. And then basically, I think the easiest thing to do is if the winner doesn't see it and doesn't claim it, then next Sunday I'll just do it again. It's not a problem. And then watch the new subscribers disappear. But we will technically have would have hit. I'm making up words today. Rooming, hitting. It must be this wet weather. And lack of light and air. Yeah, so I'll leave it run till next Sunday, and then I'll redo it if nobody claims it. It's not a problem, and then we'll go from there. And oh, what was the other thing I was going to say was I can hear Herbie. I hope you can't hear him. I think he's going to go and wash up. Yay for me. I can go sewing then. Well, that's all right, isn't it? Yeah, he's already hooved up this morning. So yeah, well done. Yeah, thank you to all my new subscribers. To get back on track, I'll do the draw tomorrow, so that my waffling away about other things doesn't dilute the important stuff. And the other thing I was going to say was to keep sending messages and support to Diana at the Hummingbird Nest. If you see Suzanne's channel, she got Suzanne's Babies. She's got a video up on there, and Antonio at Bumpy Born has been doing regular updates and keeping everybody informed. And they're the best 2 places to go if you can't have too many people giving out information, because it all starts to get, you know, a bit confusing. No one will know where to go. But I love listening to Antonia. She's got such a lovely speaking voice. Whereas I sort of go faster and slower and get my words wrong and all the rest of it. And she's perfect every time. I love listening to her. She's got a lovely voice, lovely speaking voice. And she, she puts things over intelligently and clearly as well. So I think that's brilliant. But yes, even if you just go over to the Hummingbird Nest channel and leave a message on there, and maybe that would get through if you're not sure what to do. But anyway, so I'm always sending her love and light and healing thoughts always. Positivity is such a brilliant healer, because I think your body fights better when you're positive. And if you're there for the fight, I think, you give yourself a better chance rather than give in to it and let it take you over mentally and physically, if you possibly can. It's not always easy, believe me. Some days I just think, oh, why do I bother? Then other days I'm like, yes, I don't care about these different things. I'm going to get out there and enjoy what I've got left, which should be 30 years, hopefully, at least. You can't go too soon, can you, and let them all have peace and quiet and enjoy themselves. I always said I would turn into one of those old ladies that goes around on a scooter and hits small children with sticks. I mean, I wouldn't really, but you'd like to think that you'd be rebellious in your old age, wouldn't you? Like the I'm going to wear purple thing. But I doubt it very much. I'll probably still be there in my 90s babysitting, doling out sweets and gifts to the little ones and saying, are you a good boy? And remember to say please and thank you. And this child would have been born by then with headphones implanted in his head and a pad in his hand, won't he? It'll be interesting to see. Right, so there we go. I think I've covered everything. If I haven't, I apologise. The most important things were, have a wonderful day. Take care of yourselves and each other. Thank you so much to my new subscribers. So lovely to meet you, and I hope you'll stay. Hang around. And the draw for the subscriber giveaway will be tomorrow, sometime tomorrow. And if it doesn't work out in the week, if the winner is, can't get online or it doesn't see it or whatever, I'll redraw it on the Sunday. But I'm sure it'll be fine. But I like to have a backup plan, just how I am. One of nature's warriors and planners and list makers, endless notebooks, diaries, all the rest of it. I can't go on anymore because it'll start a whole new conversation about my addiction to notebooks and planners and diaries and things like that. One in my bag, one in the back room, one in the living room. That's the diaries. Notebooks everywhere. I love notebooks, love paper. Going into Staples is pretty, can you say orgasmic on YouTube? I love it. All the paper all stacked up, all different colours, all different thicknesses. Wonderful. Where would you like to go this afternoon, dear? I thought I'd take you on a really nice afternoon out. We'll have a nice treat. Staples. I want to go to Staples. Right, so there we are. In case you don't know what Staples is, it's all office stuff. Diaries, planners, paper, envelopes, boxes, folders, all the kind of things that you just want to run your hands through and play with all day. All different colours, especially they've got lots of pink and fairies and butterflies, and because I love butterflies, anything like that. So there you go. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Thankfully, there he goes. I was just going to say, didn't I tempt fate? So bye for now. Take care. Bye.